Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel and happy Halloween. Today I am just going to do a classic October favorites video. It's been a while since I filmed a favorites video, I think. And it's also kind of felt like it's been a while since I filmed a proper video. I kind of tried to do a short last week because, you know, YouTube and algorithm things. And it turns out that trying to make a really cool short and filming a full-length YouTube video takes the same amount of time and effort. So I might just stick with this format here, and when the mood strikes for something cute and short, we'll go that direction. Either way, I'm just going to beg for forgiveness for not being as consistent as is ideal when you are trying to build a community. But I think without further ado, we're just truly going to jump right into this favorites because I have so many things covering my desk here to talk about with you today. And I'm actually pretty enthusiastic about all of them. We've got everything from skincare and makeup, hair accessories, a few clothing favorites. I've got two body care favorites, a couple of stationery things, a couple of my standard miscellaneous things. We've got some media favorites. So there's lots to talk about, lots to get through. And I feel like we should just get right into it. Obviously, it is also spooky season. Well, the end of spooky season. As I said, it's Halloween. Well, Halloween weekend, because this will go up before Halloween. Halloween's on Monday. But I am ready and, you know, passing up on the sexy in favor of the cute and comfy because it's officially cold here again. So I have gone with the kid from Where the Wild Things Are. So I've got my furry onesie and my little teeny tiny crab. Adorable. I know. Because we have a cute fun time here. Okay, I'm actually going to start with tools, beauty tools, makeup brushes specifically, because I never really talk about brushes on my channel because I am not really a makeup review channel inherently. I don't necessarily think that you guys or general people who come across my videos are coming here specifically for like your highest tier makeup content, beauty content. However, I thought that I would share these two little brush favorites because they've been quite significant in my daily makeup usage over the last month. So the first one is a blush brush. Well, what I have been using as a blush brush, and it is this lovely and very not clean e.l.f. technically a highlighter brush, but it's like this lovely dome shaped, pretty fluffy, very soft bristles. I actually really love e.l.f. brushes, and of course it helps that it's purple because it's my favorite color. But this has quickly risen to the top compared to what is my standard blush brush, which is this Sephora Pro Sculpting blush brush. I think it's the Blush Sculptor 99. Pretty significant difference in shape. We still are working with like that dome, but in terms of, you know, overall style and shape, it is quite different. And I don't know, I think I've been using this so much because it is smaller, it's easier to pack on the weekends, and I just really like how it feels on my cheeks. I like how it applies blush. It has been working really beautifully for both cream and powder. And yeah, it's not necessarily that it's been a replacement, it's just been something that I've been reaching for a lot this month and using specifically on the weekends when I'm kind of doing overnights and things. So definitely a blush brush favorite for the month of October. And then I have kind of like a smudge brush replacement, not a replacement, but a new favorite. So I think I've mentioned this a few times before. One of my favorite kind of pencil brushes is another one from e.l.f. and it's this little smudge brush. It's just a really standard, really nice pencil brush, but I have actually been reaching for this Eco Tools accent shadow brush way more often for the exact same thing. I really like to use my smudge brushes, my pencil brushes along my lower lash line when I'm applying all of my makeup, with the exception truly of today. Most of the time when I'm putting any kind of pigment on my lower lash line, it's been powder for quite a long time now. So obviously the best method for me personally of application is with a really nice pencil brush. And again, I still really love this one. This has just kind of been the one that fits perfectly in my overnight bag. And it's just also extraordinarily soft. I also really love EcoTools brushes so much. And this has become a very, very quick favorite. And there's also something like tangibly aesthetic and delicious about this. I don't know, maybe it's just like, I think it's maybe a textural difference, but my second brush favorite for the month of October. Then we have eyebrow product. And I think a few videos ago, I was mentioning that I have been kind of on the hunt for a brow product, not necessarily a tinted brow mascara or anything like that, but just something that was going to give me just really good kind of like laminated style hold. And I'm really upset to say that the Refi, what do they call this? I think it's, I don't know, the name of the product is not, but it's just the like standard Refi pomade. And man, oh man, does this have exceptional hold. And I'm also really devastated to share with you that it took me well over a month to remember that the top comes off and you get this like dual-sided brush slash comb to like really aid in that brow lamination technique. So it wasn't, I think, until I saw someone on Instagram using this product and doing that, and I was like, oh damn, I've had this now. And completely forgot that there's this little hidden component. That's when it kind of fully changed the game for me in terms of absolutely being obsessed and loving this product so much. It's quite pricey, which I think is why I'm not thrilled that it's a favorite, because it's just like a lot of money to fork out for something that you're using every single day, because that means you have to replace it frequently. But so far I have been just using it and loving it, and I think there's quite a lot of product in here. I don't need that much. I have, you know, not a lot of brow. So I don't know, overall I'm just really happy with this, and I think I'm going, when this is finished, I'm gonna just revert back to like a true soap brow. So not the brand soap brows, but like literally just, I've got a bar of clear soap and I'm just gonna give that a try again and see where I land on the brow preference. But this definitely really impressed me. Then I have 3 blush favorites, 2 of which should absolutely not be a surprise. They have been in constant rotation in my everyday makeup wear for this entire month. So the first is the About Face Cheek Freak in the shade Smash. It is this beautiful red tone. I am just forever in love with this product, with this packaging. It's such a beautiful and like truly natural shade of like blush on me. It is the pink tone that my skin turns when I am flushing, whether it's, you know, from cold or exercise or sheer embarrassment and horror. But I love this so much. It is pretty much in my weekend makeup bag every single weekend, and definitely, like I said, is in my daily rotation. Then there is this absolutely precious and stunning Kaleidos blush palette, and I believe this is the shade Sanguine. And like, just look at that impression there. It's almost the exact same shade as Smash. So pigmented, so soft, so buttery, I guess you would say, but also like there's a good amount of kickback, so it's not at all gonna hard pan. But yeah, it's pretty much the exact same shade. It's the first time I've ever used a Kaleidos blush, and I'm thrilled. Like, I've even kept the little like plastic cover because I'm just cherishing this so much. I love that we have like kind of that soft fabric cover here for this little compact. It's so cute. I'm obsessed. I did also pick up a Kaleidos eyeshadow quad, and I've only just like dipped my fingertips in it. I haven't actually used it yet because it's like, it's so pretty. I don't want to ruin it, but you can expect to see that hopefully in an upcoming video. And then the third blush also should not be a surprise, but I hadn't really used it much since the video that it appeared, but it is the Phytosurgence Toasted Blush in Sublimate. And again, very, very similar in shade to the other two. It's a little bit more brown. I would say like more of a browny rose. The other two definitely are more true to like a red, but equally beautiful is what I wore today. And I'm just over the moon, in love. So thank you so much to my dear, dear friend, Channy, for gifting this to me, because it's just, it was an instant fave, I think, from the moment I dipped my finger in it, but it's definitely, once again, been in that everyday makeup rotation. So I'm really, really enjoying using it. And when it comes to new makeup, that's what it's all about, is stuff that brings you joy and is fun to use and play with. The last makeup product I have here that quickly became a favorite is another Kaleidos product, and it is the Cloud Lab Lip Clay in the shade Rubino. And first of all, I just really love the packaging and like the soft matte finish of the packaging. Like, this is just, it's so cute, it's so pretty. And then this color, like, it looks so dark. And actually, I'm just gonna swatch it on the inside of my hand here. It's such a delicious, like, blood bitten red. And I wore it actually on Thanksgiving, Canadian Thanksgiving, obviously, because American Thanksgiving has not happened yet. But we had a little, you know, Harvest Fest dinner, and I wore this with this beautiful kind of like coppery brown fallen leaf shade dress, and it was just so beautiful. It's an absolutely stunning formula. It feels absolutely delicious and light and almost powdery on the lips. I really love it, and kind of sheared out. Again, it ends up being a very similar tone to these, which is just, I think, a color that is very at home on my skin personally. So yeah, loving that, loving Kaleidos so far, and I'm gonna try and pull back on my spending, but I would definitely love to, I think, sink my teeth into more Kaleidos makeup, because everything, well, the three products that I've picked up so far have been an absolute pleasure. Okay, I'm gonna jump into, I think, body care first, because that is the kind of least amount that I have, and then we'll go skincare, and then we'll just spread out from there. So this should not be a surprise at all, because I literally rave about Native deodorant in all of my favorites. This is one of their new seasonal scents. It is toasted marshmallow and vanilla, and I can say with confidence that they obviously heard my plea about sugar cookie, because this is almost the same scent. I love it. I have been using it frequently. I obviously bought more than one, because whenever they come out with these like limited edition seasonal scents, I must have as many as possible, because they are a limited time offer. But love it. I don't know if I will ever use another deodorant. Right now, Native has me chained for life, and that is okay. My next kind of body care product is this beautiful, beautiful oil from the brand Truly. And I discovered this in the summertime. Look at this color. At Shoppers Drug Mart, I was downtown for a work event and was just kind of meandering around the Shoppers Drug Mart in that specific neighborhood, and saw one of the little end caps filled with this brand, and I was like, well, I've never seen this before. This all looks great. Started just kind of reading all of the products, and this one specifically is called Glazed Donut, and it is an aftershave oil, and it's got coconut, grape, passion fruit, lavender, and vitamin E. And Truly is vegan, clean, high-performing, animal cruelty-free, made in the USA with global ingredients. The list goes on of all of their claims, but you should definitely check them out on like Instagram, kind of follow their content creation and all of the various ways that they show people, and young women specifically, using their products. Again, it is an aftershave oil. So when you are shaving your legs or your armpits. Personally, I wax my armpits, but I do typically shave my legs. And then other more sensitive areas, I use this aftershave oil every single time without fail. Even if I haven't shaved, if I'm just getting out of the shower, I'm using this oil in the pubic area. It does not go inside, let me be clear. You do not put anything on the inside. Your vagina does not need that. Your vulva does not need that. But on the outside, in that pubic area, you know, there is obviously hair growth all over your body. We are covered in hair because we are humans and, you know, we come from primates. But it is just also a really beautiful oil to like just keep your skin hydrated, make sure that you're keeping like any ingrown hairs at bay, making sure that, you know, you're not getting any irritation, because as hair grows back, sometimes it can cause a little bit of itchiness or discomfort. So it's just been a beautiful, beautiful product. And sometimes, like if I get out of the bath and I've shaved my legs in the bath, I will put on that oil and then put like a really thick layer of body lotion or a thick body cream on top of that. And like really just, I like to do oil and then cream. I know some people do it in the reverse, but either way, it's just, it leaves my skin soft. I haven't had any kind of like sensitivity or reaction to it. And it's just, it is truly beautiful. Now we have skincare, like of the face. And these, with the exception of the first one I'm going to talk about, everything is a mini. So the first is this Continent Skincare Vitamin B3 and Zinc Serum. It's a little bit on the pricey side, but you really only need a teeny tiny amount. So it actually does, I think, take you quite far in terms of use. And I think that, like, as someone with kind of combination oily skin, I am prone to, I wouldn't say like severe breakouts, but I do get some chin stuff, like hormonal acne on my chin, around my nose. Since the time I was, you know, a very, very young teen, I've always gotten just kind of like clogged pores and little like whiteheads around my nose. Sometimes I get things like higher up on my cheeks. I don't really ever, like on the very rare occasion do I get things on my forehead. So it really just like tends to be in this little area here. And I think my skin really likes and responds well to zinc. I don't think there's any scent to it. And I'll just, it's kind of got like a very pale, like amber color to it. And it sits very beautifully under my other skincare. I typically use that at night. I kind of have been rotating my nighttime serums, but sometimes I will also use that in the morning if I just, especially now that the, you know, air is getting a little bit colder and drier. It's nice just to have a couple extra layers of like treatment and moisture and just make sure that all of that is locked in on your face. I think the first Continent skincare product I've ever used, although I've been aware of the brand for many, many years, but very impressed. And hard to say if it's a repurchase, but so far this month it has definitely reached the status of favorite. Then there is this one from Biossance, and it is the Squalane and Omega Repair Cream, and it is just a teeny tiny mini. I got this, I think there was like a Sephora clean like skincare and makeup kit that I bought, I think, again in the summertime, and this is actually almost empty, so you will see this again in my next empties. I absolutely love the scent of it. I don't know that it's like fragranced per se, it's more just the like scent of the ingredients, but it's just such a beautiful, delicious feeling cream. And I have been using this as my night cream on the weekends when I'm like doing overnights. And I wake up and my skin feels amazing. I'm not getting like any clogged pores, like it's not too heavy for my skin. I've actually used it in the daytime in a few instances when it has been a little bit cooler, or I'm just feeling like my daytime moisturizer isn't really giving me enough hydration. But overall, I'm absolutely obsessed. I have another mini of this, and I think that also came in like one kit or another. But I think after I finish this and then the other mini, like it definitely warrants a purchase of the full size because it's just such a glorious, glorious moisturizer. Then I have this mini Pie Light Work Rose Hip Fruit Extract Cleansing Oil. And this is not the first time I've used this. I just happened to purchase this size because it was on sale. I think like a couple months ago when I went to the detox market, they just had like a little end cap of things that were soon to expire. It was just a matter of like when it had to be open. So there was a nice discount on it, and I have used and loved this product many times in the past. But it wasn't until I picked this up and started using it again that I was like, oh yes, this is what a good cleansing oil is. Because there's some that are just like really gummy, or some that don't rinse off, that don't emulsify well enough when you get water on your face. But the pie one is just next level. Like, there is just something truly exceptional about this formula, about these ingredients. It never irritates my skin. It certainly does not irritate my eyes. I have noticed that with some cleansing oils, and I'm just like, why is there anything in a cleansing oil product that's stinging my eyes, especially when it's like meant to be used as a first cleanse, which is usually to get your makeup off, you know, and like specifically your eye makeup, like any kind of like heavy gunky mascara. So you are putting it around your eyes. That's a very sensitive part of your face. Nothing should be stinging your eyes when it is a first cleanse that you are using exclusively sometimes in that area. So cannot recommend the pie cleansing oil enough. And you know, I like a mini, I like a smaller size if you just want to try something out. And sometimes when you are kind of just in that exploratory mode, it's a little bit easier on the pocketbook as well. But if you are also doing a lot of travel, it's just perfect to put in kind of your toiletry bag, and then you're good to go. Chef's kiss. I'm so glad that this is back in my life. And when I'm done this and all of my other various cleansers that are, you know, currently on my vanity and in my backups, the pie cleansing oil is going to come back into my life in its full form. My last skincare products, I'm truly ashamed that it has taken me so long to get here, but like, can I just say that I have been sleeping on Glow Recipe? There, I said it. I've been sleeping on Glow Recipe, and I can't believe no one told me. I got a few months ago, maybe again in the summer, I think it's called the like Fruit Babies kit, which is one, so adorable. And I have been obsessed with literally every single thing I have put on my face from this kit. I'm pretty sure all of this is what it came with. Don't quote me on that. I somehow managed to get all of these, so somehow. So I've got the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Pink Juice Moisturizer. It's like so stinking cute, and it's a glass. Then I've got the Plum Hyaluronic Serum for deep hydration and glow. Then we've got the Blueberry Bounce Gentle Cleanser. And then the Watermelon Glow PHA and BHA Pore Tight Toner. There's also the like Avocado Ceramide Eye Cream. I'm not sure where that is, but it's around here somewhere. And there was another serum, I think maybe in the watermelon line. But like, so stinking cute. I love it. The aesthetics of this brand, it's so delightful. And I have nothing bad to say about any of it, especially the eye cream. The eye cream is truly delightful. I have been using that every single night since I opened it. And in fact, it was going to go into my like overnight / weekend bag. And I was so obsessed with it that I pulled it out, and it's now like on my vanity in my bathroom for every single day use, because I love it. It's so hydrating. It doesn't clog my pores. It doesn't feel heavy. I don't know. I just love it. I love all of these products. I love this cleanser. It has this very, very gentle blueberry scent, but it's also this scent that's kind of like nostalgic. And I think I've said this before about the scent of a product, but it almost smells like, I think it was like a very specific kind of soft soap that I think my uncle used to like have in the cottage bathroom, and it was the ones that like always had the like little figures on the inside, like coral reefs and things, like very cottage life. It kind of has like that scent to it as well, but it's so gentle. It is another cleanser that does not sting my eyes at all. It's so lovely. And again, I know some people don't like minis, but I'm obsessed with a mini, and I just want to buy 500 of these like Fruit Babies kits so that I can just have these little tiny Glow Recipe products forever. I also believe that Glow Recipe just announced they're part of this like Every Body campaign, which I'm pretty sure is raising money for like abortion access and, you know, female bodily autonomy and all of that, which I just think is absolutely wonderful and good for these brands for jumping on important causes and using their platforms and their voices and their influence to actually start making a difference and helping people especially in the United States, like women and uterus having individuals with what is a very scary issue right now. This, I guess, is more, it's nail care, so it's kind of a perfect transition into the rest. This is called the Cure Ultimate Nail Hardener by Nailberry. And I don't know about you guys, but I have tried many different like nail treatment things because I have very thin and like flaky, breaky nails. I've never ever had like super strong hard nails that just grow and are just like big and elegant. I just end up with little hobbit hands with like little broken fingernails, and it's always been really upsetting. I think for my birthday, if you guys recall, back in March, I'd gotten my nails done and was upkeeping that for a while, and then they just started around, I think, the end of May. One by one they broke off, and like anytime I've ever gotten my nails done, whether it's gel or like bio gel or like acrylics or whatever, it ruins my nails for like a year. So I was absolutely frantic and desperate to get my nails back to like a really healthy state as quickly as possible. So I was constantly filing, I was constantly moisturizing, I was trying to take good care of my cuticles, I was buffing, you know, any kind of like flakes or hard ridges on the top. I was literally trying to like buy and use any kind of breathable nail gel or like some kind of product like this. And then I think I was like shopping on the Green Jungle Beauty, as I am wont to do, and this product specifically was in one of their flash sales, and I was like, you know what, why not? What's the harm? At the very least, I'll just like put it on my nails once a week and, you know, it'll last me forever. It has actually made a real difference. I really like it. It makes my nails look really shiny and really healthy. It has a very particular kind of like perfumey scent that isn't that like specific nail polish scent. Like obviously I just opened it and then huffed it, so I just got the like do not advise, do not recommend. But I love this very much. And I find that some of the other products I use like that, like they last a day, but then as with any kind of nail polish or product that I am actually painting onto my fingernails, it just starts to like peel and flake. Like the moment I wash my hands or get into the shower, you can just like visibly see where that product has worn off, whether it's clear or not. So I have not found that with this, and I've really enjoyed it, and I think it's definitely been a favorite. I really love this as just a general treatment that I use, you know, a couple times a week if I'm not painting my nails. And the fact that my nails are painted is kind of a miracle. It was kind of a spontaneous whim today, but I really like the brown. It's called Cold Brew Crew by Essie, and I love it. I guess that's also a new favorite, literally just today. Wow, I don't even know where it is, so I can't show you, but I'll stick a picture of it here. I guess from there, we'll go to accessories. So the first is this absolutely adorable, delightful, spooky season themed necklace, which I managed to pick up from HomeSense at the beginning of the month and have pretty much worn every day since. And it is by Rae Dunn. Don't really know anything about the brand, but I do just love a seasonal piece of jewelry, especially if it's like not a huge statement piece that is like really only appropriate in one specific scenario. But this just like blends in perfectly, and from afar, like it just kind of looks like a medallion. It's got the cute little jewel there, and it's just been delightful. It's so subtle, in fact, that the first couple of times I wore it and I was like around other people, I was like, did you notice my spider web? And everyone was very annoyed, and they were like, yes, it's cute. Have you had enough attention yet today? And I was like, no, please compliment my spider web. It's so beautiful and witchy. Anyways, love it. Have pretty much not taken it off since. Thank you, Rae Dunn. Listen, I love a scrunchie, and I absolutely freaking love a hair bow, to the point where I went down an Etsy rabbit hole in September. I cannot remember. Time is a construct. And I was like, I want a hair bow. I want multiple hair bows. I have a couple, but I'm bored of them and I want something new for the fall winter season. And I stumbled across a shop on Etsy called So Stylish Sisters, and they happened to be in Woodstock in Ontario. So I was like, score, I'm gonna get this so fast. I'm supporting local, and you know, I don't have to worry about like importing things. And I'm pretty sure that this shop is like exclusively making hair accessories for like babies and children. For, you know, those like photo shoots where you stick giant stretchy hairbands on your child's head and it cannot possibly be comfortable because like they have soft heads. Anyways, I found these absolutely adorable Fable bows, and I bought 4 of them. So I have this like kind of checked pattern, then just a regular kind of mustardy brown one. I got a black one, and then I got this beautiful kind of sage green one, which is still in the package because I was like, you're being excessive. And they just come with like a little, I guess, would you call this like a little alligator clip? So it's not going to hold all of your hair. Obviously, again, I think this is a shop making hair accessories meant for like literally baby hairs that does not have to hold like heavy, thicker adult hair. Not that I have necessarily the thick hair. I have very fine hair. So when I'm, you know, using my little hair bows, I'm obviously not styling it like here because I'm not 5. I'll like pull my hair back, put a tiny little elastic in, and then just slide the clip in with just the like top layer of hair just above the hair elastic. I'll do the same if I'm like doing a half up braid. Anyways, I truly love a bow, and this specific style of bow is called the Fable, and I'm sure you can see why. Like, it's just got this very much like storybook vibe. It's so pretty. They're so soft. These browns are very complementary to my own hair color, and I just really, really love them. On the flip side of that, there's, you know, bigger conglomerates like ASOS. Is that how you pronounce it? Anyways, I got this absolutely adorable scrunchie set from ASOS, and I think it's called Design B. And there's a few, like, I think variations in color of these styles. So we've got this one, which is like this kind of like iridescent purple. I don't even know what you would call it. It's almost like a splash pant material. And then chiffon, fluffy scrunchies. I have worn all of them multiple times. Like, I will literally just bring all 3 of these with me on a weekend and wear all of them as often as I possibly can because I truly just love a scrunchie. I love a scrunchie hair moment, especially if it's like exceptionally feminine. It's so pretty. I want it forever. I want it for always. I love these so much. Then I have an undie favorite. These are from Aerie, and they are, specifically, I will tell you what the actual name is in case you want a pair. And Aerie often does like 10 for like $42 sales on their undies. These are the Seamless Rib Boy Short. And as you can probably see, the leg holes have these cute little scalloped edge. And there's also like matching bralettes with these. And they're kind of like a long line bralette that has kind of like a corset vibe. It's very soft fabric though, like it's the seam fabric, so there's no underwire. Whether you're a big breasted or small breasted individual, I think bralettes are now completely a personal preference. It is also my personal preference to wear full back undies, and usually something along the lines of like a high-waisted pair. And I love these. They're super, super comfortable. Obviously, because there's that scalloped edge, you're not gonna wear these underneath a pair of tight leggings. You're probably not gonna wear these underneath like a pair of skinny jeans. But if you're bumming around in like track pants, if you're wearing, you know, kind of a flowy skirt and you just like want everything covered, especially if it's like the summertime and you don't have tights on underneath and you don't want that, you know, Marilyn moment, there's nothing like a cute little boy short underneath a skirt to just like make you feel secure. But these are also great under like a mom jean. I personally don't care about panty lines. I know some people really care. So again, it's completely a personal preference thing, but I truly love these. They're so comfortable and they just make me happy. I love a cute pair of underwear that makes me feel safe and secure. And that for me means that I'm covered where I want and need to be. So my other clothing favorite is this onesie from Walmart. That it is a sloth and it has little sloth claw pockets and it zips all the way down and it is fleecy and glorious. And I went to Walmart, saw it and said, I must have that. That must be in my life forever. And so it was. I don't love supporting Walmart for, you know, an infinite amount of capitalistic reasons, but what's a girl to do when she finds an adorable onesie that just happens to be in her size? She buys it. Okay, last clothing favorite. And maybe this will come as a shock to anyone who knows me. I'm going to try and snowboard this winter. Will that end in utter disaster? Probably, but I'm gonna go down in style. I have not had an actual like ski jacket since I was in high school. So I was like, well, I need a ski jacket. And even if I decide that I absolutely hate snowboarding and I have no interest in skiing and I don't even want to like ride a tube down a mountain, at least I will have like a good quality ski jacket that like I can, when the apocalypse hits and there's only snow, I might survive. So I bought this absolutely stunning pullover style ski jacket with like a giant front pocket, good side pocket, and like air zips for ventilation from Dope Snow. Amazing customer service. I literally have never interacted with like kinder people in an online sale. I usually have such a hard time with customer service when I'm ordering things online. People can be pretty snippy and like not helpful, but I just have to say that shopping and interacting with people from Dope Snow was absolutely delightful, and I couldn't be happier with my purchase. When the time comes for me to get on a mountain in that, I will take pictures and it will be on my Instagram, so follow me. I was really thinking that this was going to be a quick video, but LOL, it's me. It's me. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem, it's me. I have two book favorites here. And one I am still reading, so, you know, this is a disclaimer that my mind could definitely change on this, but the one that I finished and that I would definitely say is a favorite is Where the Crawdads Sing. I know that, like, everybody, their mother and their aunt has read this book. I finally read it and bought it pretty much only because there was, like, a 2 for $20 sale at Indigo. Like, you cannot send me into an Indigo and put me in front of a book sale, even if it's like, they could be like 2 for $100 and I'd be like, sold, I'll buy 10. But I actually really genuinely enjoyed this book. I thought it was so lovely, equal parts lovely and heartbreaking. But I just really felt like I was fully immersed in the marshlands, in the swampy areas of like, I think North Carolina, sorry, the North Carolina coast. Like I felt like I was there with her. I felt like I was feeding the birds with her. I felt like I was out on the beach with her. I felt like I was in these lagoons with her. And I really appreciate that about writers. I love when they can actually transport you to the places, even if you're not necessarily fully like committed to the character, but if they can actually take you out of your life and plunk you right down in that environment to the point where like it becomes a visceral experience for you and you can hear it and you can smell it and like you are there. That's what I got from this book, and I think that's why it's a favorite. Just take me there, leave me there. And then the book that I'm currently reading, which I'm really enjoying so far, is called Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, and I have pretty much, with I think the exception of only one, I've read all of her books. I think I also own most of them. But this is her first foray into explicitly like adult fiction versus YA, and it's just really good. It's really interesting. It's got this like really dark edge to it, which I often really like when it comes to fantasy. I like adult fantasy. I know everyone is like super engaged and like sinking their teeth into like smutty fantasy, which is fine, engaging, fun. They're always fast reads. Like you really feel like you're there, and they're pleasurable for so many obvious reasons. But when I'm reading fantasy, like with Where the Crawdads Sing, even though that's not a fantasy, but I want to be immersed in the story. I want to be immersed in the places. I want to feel everything as part of the experience, and I don't necessarily always just want it to be like this like high romance or, you know, this like all of the smut. Like there's nothing wrong with that. I love that. I have books like that too, but I want the adventure. I want the character building. I want the drama. I want, you know, the like anti-heroes. I want the villain arc. I want the hero arc. I want everything that comes with like true deep storytelling and world building. And from everything I've read from Leigh Bardugo, she does that. And Ninth House so far is very, very interesting, and it makes me want to go to New Haven. It makes me want to like walk around the Yale campus. I don't want to give too much away about the book, but I will link it in the description box down below. And you can also like I'll link my Goodreads as well, so you can kind of like keep up with what I'm reading and kind of what I want to be reading, what I read last year. There's also 2 highlights on my Instagram account if, you know, kind of like book club style things are also of interest to you. I've got 2 like stationary style things, I guess, and one completely unintentional, I guess that would be in that realm, that also just happened today, but like totally stole my heart. So the first is this absolutely delightful, stupid pen that I picked up in like a notebook pen set from Winners a month ago. But it's just, I can't. It's so cute and it's so fluffy. And there is just truly something to be said for writing with an instrument that brings you joy, and that is just ridiculous. And it's got black ink. I would not say like fine tip pen, it's just kind of a standard ballpoint. I like a very like sharp fine tip that's scratchy. So this doesn't quite meet that specific standard, but it's just so cute and stupid and ridiculous and like fuzzy that it could not be a favorite. And I can't, like, I will be sad to put this away because it's truly seasonally appropriate now, but once November and December hits, I don't think it's going to be. So my little furry kitty pen will go away, but I love it. I love her. Then I have some sticker favorites. Again, this came, I think, as a result of like an Etsy rabbit hole that I went down, and I could not help but place an order of many, many things. So these stickers are from Keegsy Designs. Cute, cute, cute. So I got her Cosmic Witch sticker sheet, which, like, honestly, how stinking adorable is this? Then I got the Cat Ghosts sheet, and again, how stinking adorable. Like, can you even? And because I have no chill, I got like big stickers of the cat ghosts. Look at this. Look at this one. Oh my gosh. It is a cat with a magic ball. I love it. So cute. And then this one, trick-or-treating. Like, what? So cute. Oh my god. And then this is my favorite. I don't think I will ever use a sticker. It's just gonna like be cherished forever as a keepsake. But it's like little ghosts in a greenhouse with mushrooms. Like, it's so cute. Her Instagram account, I think it's a her. I don't want to misgender someone. Their Instagram account is adorable. Highly recommend that you check them out. And if you, again, like supporting small creators, do it. It's so easy, and then it brings you so much joy because stickers. Except if you're anything like me, maybe it's a millennial thing. You will just end up hoarding all of your stickers for eternity, and then your great-great-grandchildren are one day going to stumble across like 16 shoeboxes in an attic, literally just filled with stickers, and they're gonna be like, what is this? Why? Because everything will be digital, and they're going to be fully living as like avatars in another matrix, and they won't understand the purely tangible joy of a sticker sheet. A tragedy. Then this is also like probably a millennial thing, definitely like an older generation thing, but this little teeny tiny stamp, like, excuse me, how stinking cute. I don't know if my camera is going to focus on this properly. Hi. This was on a package that I had delivered because I've already started my Christmas shopping, and it peeled off so elegantly with like absolutely almost no damage, and I was like, I must keep this forever. This absolutely delightful little carousel horse, and I fell in love. And it's from BC, and it's just absolutely delightful, and I love it. I don't know where I'm gonna put it, but I'm saving it forever because I'm obsessed. I'm gonna move on to my like actual media. So I've got some music, I have some shows, and I have a podcast that they just transcended what I would classify as a favorite. So the first, I'm gonna start in the music genre because obviously, and like, do I even need to say it? Midnights. I am a Swiftie. I'm not like the hardcore Swiftie that, you know, necessarily goes scouring around the internet for every single clue and like hidden secret, although sometimes I definitely do that. So yes, I'm just a regular old Swiftie and I'm not ashamed of it. I've been listening to Taylor Swift since I was 14 years old, maybe a little bit older, younger, I don't know. But like Taylor Swift is basically why I picked up a guitar for the first time. So, you know, I can attribute that side of like my creative life to her for sure. Every single album she's ever released has had a huge impact on my life, has become the soundtrack for so many essential, pivotal moments in my life. I've said this before, I think pretty much every time she releases a new album, I wax poetic about why I think she's amazing. And obviously, she is just human, so she is fallible. I think that's what we have to remember always about human beings, is that we are inherently fallible. And even if you reach celebrity status, it doesn't immunize you from the inherent fallibility of being a freaking human being. So she will make mistakes, she will make stumbles, and she will also pivot and learn because she cares so much about her fans and the audience, and I think what people think and how people care about her. So that's just, you know, something to be kept in mind. I'm not going to like go down the rabbit hole of what's been going on in the public and kind of the zeitgeist right now around some of the new releases, but I think Midnights is great. It's got, I think, absolutely like the heart and soul of Folklore and Evermore. It's got that same like beautiful storytelling in it, but it's got the like pizzazz and sparkle and like beat of 1989 and I think a lot of the dark edges of Reputation. So I'm just excited to keep listening to it. It's pretty much been nonstop. I'm excited to see all of, you know, the videos. I think this is intended to be a fully visual album, so we're pretty much getting a music video for every single track, and I'm so excited and I love it. Next, music favorite. I've been talking for too long. I'm so thirsty. It is a cover of Come Together by the band Crown Lands. And I believe I've spoken about Crown Lands before. They are amazing. They are a duo. I think Cody and I can't remember the other singer's name, but they're amazing. I believe they are local to Oshawa, Ontario, or kind of like in that region. I saw them last December in concert. They're so incredible. They literally just like launched themselves right out of the 70s into 2022. They are ethereal. They are empowering and powerful. Their music is incredible. Their talent is mind-blowing. And this cover of Come Together is exceptional. It's probably one of my favorite covers of the song I've ever heard. And then my next music favorite is also just a singular song. It is Unfinished by Noah Cyrus. It came up on, I think, one of my playlists last week or at the beginning of this week. And I'm so impressed by Noah Cyrus. I cannot believe the level of talent and depth and like emotion in this young person. She's so incredible, and she was actually just playing in Toronto this week, and I'm kind of mad at myself that I completely forgot and didn't buy myself tickets to the concert because I think I would have absolutely been on cloud nine. Shows. Totally late to the game here, but my mom and I started watching Manifest. And I believe that part 1 of the most recent season just dropped on Netflix. But holy crap, this show is so intense and like it's good and I'm so invested and I need to know what happens, and it just has me completely hooked. I love Manifest so much. It's really, really great. And I feel like I think we've seen similar like storylines and similar ideas before, but I just think that this one has been really well done. There's a few moments that you're like, this is very far-fetched. But I think that's when you also have to kind of suspend your disbelief and just let yourself be in this obviously very unrealistic world, but it's part of the fantasy, it's part of the science fiction of it all, and I think it's just really cool. And then I've got 2 honorable mentions that I don't think reached favorite status, but we're pretty close. So just finished The Midnight Club on Netflix. which was based basically on, well, overall, the like full kind of encompassing story based on the Christopher Pike novel of the same name. And the creator is Mike Flanagan, so I think Haunting of Bly Manor, Haunting of Hill House, like it's called, I think on Netflix when you like open the show, it says part of the Flaniverse. So, you know, you can expect that same kind of spooky vibe, although this show specifically is geared towards like a slightly younger audience, like the YA kind of group. And then every single episode is kind of based on another Christopher Pike novel. And I just thought it was a very interesting concept. Like, you've got this really good balance between kind of like these devastatingly sad, but also sometimes funny moments paired with like very disturbing, deep, spooky, mystery kind of stuff. So like a very good show to watch this season. The second show, which like everybody obviously is talking about, is The Watcher. I think it's maybe an unpopular opinion that it was a good show, but I thought it was very, very entertaining. And what it did for me, outside of just being like purely entertained, was kind of send me back down the rabbit hole of the original story. The Watcher is obviously based on a true unsolved kind of like true crime event. And I think the show got optioned after the 2018 article went viral in The Cut. And when the show came out, I was like, why is this so familiar? Like, I was having this really intense like sense memory when the show came out, and I started to see all of the previews and like hear about it. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I too read the article in The Cut in 2018. And so this kind of leads me to my next favorite, which is actually a podcast called Dark House. Because before I realized that it was the article that I had read back in 2018, which is why this was such a familiar story to me, I was like, oh, I must have listened to, you know, one of my favorite podcast episodes, and like one of the true crime podcasts that I listened to definitely covered this. But I'm scrolling through Spotify and I was like, no, none of, you know, I listened to Morbid with Ash and Alanna. They, I don't think, had covered it. I couldn't find it in their repertoire. And then I looked at a few others, and then I listened to a few others, and I was like, no, I've definitely never heard this podcast specifically before. But then I started listening to like other podcast episodes about The Watcher, and just kind of got the like real story behind it and got re-familiarized with the true story. And then I landed on an episode on The Watcher from this podcast called Dark House, which I think is only in its second season. I really love it so much because it takes a completely different spin on what we've come to know as like true crime podcasting. I guess it was Serial that kind of like broke out in the podcast world and got everyone really, really hooked on true crime in that specific space through that specific medium. But rather than just doing your like standard format, here's the crime, here's, you know, the victim, here's the killer, or here's who we think is the killer because it's still not been solved and no one's been convicted, etc., etc. Dark House takes a look at the house. So every single episode is focused on like infamous houses across the United States that are either so renowned because of like a true crime event or some kind of like paranormal activity, etc. And so obviously because of the kind of like infamy that arose out of this whole story with The Watcher, the specific house gained notoriety because of that. And so they did a whole episode on the house, and it took me into that story in such a completely different way. And then I was hooked after that one episode and have listened to every single other episode they've done. So I've completely maxed out on their first and second season. And I'm now just like waiting with bated breath for them to release their new episodes weekly. So if that sounds like, you know, something you also would like, because you might not be interested in like just the standard true crime and want something that's a little bit different and also has like a little bit more poetry to it and is kind of less about like the blood and gore and like horror of, you know, violent axe murderers, then Dark House is definitely for you. The hosts are truly lovely and funny. They both come from like interior design backgrounds, and it's just really interesting how they've approached this subject, and just like claps and snaps for all of it. I'm obsessed. I have 2 more favorites and then we're gonna wrap this up because we have been here together now for like basically the length of a feature film once again, and I understand that our time is precious and you may not want to spend all of yours with me, and that's okay. So my first kind of favorite, which is one of my like intangibles, so to speak, I always like to include a few of these because not everything is about, you know, physical material things, at least that you buy or you consume. But I think my first favorite in this category, and I may actually have included this in a favorite around this time of year last year, but it is just truly the smell of like fallen and decaying leaves, especially on a sunny day when the actual like rays from the sun have warmed them up. It creates such a specific ambiance, and every time I'm out for a walk and I just end up like kicking through the leaves on the ground or the sidewalk or, you know, a forest path or whatever, and not only do you hear that like crunch, crunch, crunch of the fallen leaves, but you also kick up that true deep earthy scent of decaying leaves. It smells like burnt orange. It smells like burnt amber, and I mean like it smells like that color. It doesn't smell like a burnt orange. It smells like the color of burnt orange. It smells like the earth. It smells like what I imagine the entrance into like a fairy hill would smell like. You enter it and you just smell fall as you're kind of like entering that tunnel until you finally reach that like clearing in the glades, and then you like the scent of like fairy summer hits you, but first it's that like aura of fall. I don't know, I just love it. I love it so much. It will forever be a favorite, and I could also wax poetic about that for eternity. Similar to fallen / decaying leaves, my other intangible, quote unquote intangible, is dried roses. Look at these beauties. They're just so stunning. There is something so magical, so thrilling, so peaceful about a dried rose. I always have dried flowers in the backs of my videos. I always have dried flowers on my desk. They're just always around. They're always in my space, kind of always have been. And anytime that I get a bouquet of flowers that has roses or other kind of more like hardy petaled flowers, before they even start to wilt, before I've even really enjoyed them in their like suppleness, I will pluck them out of the arrangement and like hang them upside down in my workshop and like get the dehumidifier going so that I can dry them and like have them in this beautiful and like perfectly preserved state, because I love them and then I get to enjoy them forever. And I just love that like slight desaturation that happens when you've dried a rose or any other flower that can be dried with ease. Obviously any flower can be pressed and dried, but there's just some that are a little softer and like kind of wetter and just take a little bit more work, and I don't have that kind of patience. So a rose is really easy because you can literally just hang it upside down so you get that like perfectly preserved shape. But I love that desaturation of the tones. I love the like slight browning that happens. I love this like crispiness of the sound. Like, I don't love ASMR when it comes to like people's mouth noises, but I could just touch my dried roses forever and just hear that little crispy sound. It's very, again, similar to like walking on fallen dried leaves in the fall. And so yeah, that is just something that like makes me very happy and brings me a lot of joy when I look at it. I love having these dried flowers in my space. And it also just allows me to like preserve and kind of capture special moments for a very, very long time. So long as they don't break, because obviously a dried flower is quite delicate. So if it falls, it will kind of like shatter and crumble. So we try not to do that, but I'm a little bit clumsy, so it does happen on occasion. But I do just love preserving these special moments, because when you get flowers, it's so special. They're usually for very special occasions, whether it's a happy occasion or a sad occasion, but it just allows you to kind of have a physical part of that memory with you for as long as you so please. Anyways, I think that is everything for me today. Thank you so much for tuning in. You know that I am infinitely grateful for every single person who spends their time with me, whether it's 2 minutes or 2 hours. We have yet to reach a 2-hour mark in a video, but you know, never say never. It's more likely that we're gonna go in that direction than the other. But I'm so grateful for anyone and everyone who shows up here and gives my channel a view and listens to me and engages with me and has a cute fun time with me or has a serious good conversation with me. It means the world, and I'm not always consistent, especially lately. Things have been a little cuckoo, but this is definitely still something that brings me a lot of joy. This in and of itself is a favorite for me, so it's just even more so appreciated because it's something that I love so much. So when I know that it's also something that you love, I think that's just the perfect combination of favorites mutually. That is all. And I'm going to bid you adieu, and I absolutely hope that you have a magical, spooky, but also very safe and hopefully cozy Halloween weekend. I hope that you get goodies or candy or whatever kind of treat brings you the most amount of joy. And I will see you here again in my next one, whenever that might be. I'm not going to make any promises. Okay, thank you so much. Love you so much.